React hooks are functions that allow you to use React state and lifecycle features in functional components, enabling you to write cleaner and more reusable components without needing to use class-based components. Introduced in React 16.8, hooks help manage component state, handle side effects, and interact with other lifecycle features. Here's an overview of the most commonly used hooks. 1. UseState. The UseState hook allows you to add state to functional components. Syntax. Const state, set state equals UseState, initial value. Example. Import UseState from React. Function counter. Const count, set count equals UseState, 0, // count is the state variable, set count is the updater function. Return. Div. P count /p. Button on click equals set count, count plus 1, increment /button. /div. 2. Use effect. The use effect hook allows you to perform side effects, like data fetching, subscriptions, or manually updating the DOM, in functional components. It runs after the component renders and can also clean up effects when the component unmounts. Syntax. Use effect equals / side effect. Return equals / cleanup, optional. Dependencies / optional array of dependencies. Example. Import use effect, UseState from React. Function data fetcher. Const data, set data equals UseState, null. Use effect equals fetch, https://json placeholder.typicode.com/posts. Then, response equals response.json. Then, data equals set data, data. / cleanup, if necessary. Return equals console.log, cleanup on component unmount. / empty array means the effect runs only once after the component mounts. Return. Div. Data. Pre-json.stringify, data, null, 2, /pre, loading. /div. 3. Use context. The use context hook allows you to access values from the React Context API, which is useful for managing global state or configuration. Syntax. Const value equals use context, my context. Example. Import use context from React. Const theme context equals react.createContext, light. Function themed component. Const theme equals use context, theme context, / get the current value of the context. Return div. The current theme is theme /div. 4. Use reducer. The use reducer hook is an alternative to UseState, especially when you have complex state logic. It allows you to manage state with a reducer function. Syntax. Const state, dispatch equals use reducer, reducer, initial state. Example. Import use reducer from React. Function reducer, state, action. Switch, action.type. Case increment. Return count, state.count plus 1. Case decrement. Return count, state.count, 1. Default. Throw new error. Function counter. Const state, dispatch equals use reducer, reducer, count, 0. Return. Div. P count, state.count/p. Button on click equals dispatch, type, increment, increment/button. Button on click equals equals dispatch, type, decrement, decrement/button /div. 5. Use ref. The use ref hook allows you to persist values between renders without triggering a re-render when the value changes. It can also be used to directly access DOM elements. Syntax. Const ref equals use ref, initial value. Example. Import use ref from React. Function text input focus. Const input ref equals use ref, null. Const handle focus equals input ref.current.focus / access DOM element. Return. Div. Input ref equals imputed type equals text / button on click equals handle focus the input / button /div. 6. Use memo. The use memo hook allows you to memoize expensive computations so that they only recompute when necessary, improving performance. Syntax. Const memoized value equals use memo equals compute expensive value a b. Example. Import use memo uses state from React. Function expensive calculation number. Const factorial equals use memo equals console.log calculating factorial. Const calculate factorial equals n equals 1 n asterisk calculate factorial n 1. Return calculate factorial number. Number / recalculates only when number changes. Return div factorial of number, factorial /div. 7. Use callback. The use callback hook is similar to use memo, but it memoizes functions instead of values, which can be helpful in optimizing performance when passing callbacks to child components. Syntax. Const memoized callback equals use callback equals dosomething a b. Example. Import uses state use callback from React. Function parent component. Const count set count equals uses state 0. Const increment equals use callback equals set count previous count equals previous count plus 1. / memoize the function so it doesn't get recreated on every render. Return child component increment equals increment / function child component increment. Return button on click equals increment / button. 8. Use layout effect. Similar to use effect, but it fires synchronously after all DOM mutations, making it useful for reading layout properties or synchronizing the UI. Syntax. Use layout effect equals / effect logic. Dependencies. Example. Import use layout effect, use ref from React. Function layout component. Const div ref equals use ref, null. Use layout effect equals console.log div ref.current.get bounding client rect / read DOM layout synchronously. Return div ref equals div ref I'm a div / div. Best practices for using hooks. Keep logic clear, separate concerns into different use effect or uses state calls when necessary. Memoize functions, use callback or use memo to prevent unnecessary re-renders or recomputations. Clean up side effects, always return a cleanup function in use effect to prevent memory leaks.